QST, QST. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, net control operator for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, originating from the Maltese Islands. This net meets every 2 weeks on Thursday at 8 p.m. CET, Central European Time, to discuss topics related to amateur radio. Listeners can also monitor a live stream on the YouTube channel named 9H-HAM GlobalNet. So it's 9 Hotel Alpha Mike, and this is the second word, Golf, Lima, Oscar, Bravo, Alpha, Lima, November, Echo, Tango, 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This net is currently streaming live on this YouTube channel, on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet channel. This is a directed net, and all traffic should go through net control. I'd like to start by thanking 9H1 Sierra Fox, Stephen, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Jerry, 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, Charles, for making this possible, and also to 9 Hotel 5 Sierra November Marco, and 9 Hotel 1 Golf Papa Mark, for allowing us to use the 9H1 UHFR repeater, and also to 1 9 Hotel 1 Uniform Sierra and Herbert, 9 Hotel 1 Delta Hotel, for allowing the use of the 9H1 DMR repeater. Currently these two repeaters are linked together, and the DMR tow group is tow group 2780. So this 2780 on DMR. We'd like also to thank 9 Hotel 5 Yankee Victor Glenn for allowing us to use the same branding as the 9H-HAM radio Facebook page, which he administers. I will pause periodically not to time out the repeater. This is net control, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, and I will start by taking check-ins from all stations. So any stations, mobile or portable or base stations, please check in with your call sign, say your call sign phonetically, followed by your name, and please leave at least a 5-second pause between check-ins. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, and opening the check-ins on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha. That's Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha. Good evening, Anthony. The name is Ian, but there's a special call sign prefix there today. Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha. I can explain later.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. If I did keep the repeater on transmit a few minutes ago, I apologize to everybody, but the software just went south on me. Back to net control.
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, so I now have 2 check-ins, Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha Ian, and November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Jerry. Okay, Jerry, so it was you who kept the repeater on. At some point in time there was a carrier, problem, no worries. These things happen to everyone. I also have Jonathan Galia, who's listening who's listening to us, and I also have 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike Francis, who is probably unable to talk today, but he's also listening to us, and I can actually see him here on Jitsi, and we're communicating by sign language at the moment. Are there any more check-ins for the net? Are there any more check-ins for the net? Please, if there are any more check-ins, check in with your call sign in phonetic alphabet and your name. And please leave a 5-second pause between check-ins. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha net control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, name is Chris, checking in.
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. It seems that we don't have any more check-ins. I have 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. It seems we don't have any more check-ins till now. I will pause periodically for any late check-ins. And, well, before actually we start, okay, so we're a very small number of people today, but it's the I was going to say it's the quality, not the quantity, but I didn't want to insult anyone, so I'll take this back, sorry. All right, so before starting the net, I would like to congratulate and wish a very happy birthday to 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra Charles, who is not with us this evening because he's celebrating his birthday. So today he celebrated 70 years of since his birth, and for 70 years he's kept up his very good humor, and his net controlled this net several times, and I'm sure that we're all very grateful to him for the work he does for this regular fortnightly net. So happy birthday, 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra Charles, and enjoy your evening. I'm going to pause again just in case there are any other check-ins. I'm going to pause for a few seconds for any other check-ins. If there are no check-ins, then we can start the net, and sort of it will probably be a short net, but I doubt it will still be interesting. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha net control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, pausing for check-ins from any station.
Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. This is Jonathan Galia on behalf of 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. India.
This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Okay, so I have one additional check-in. It is Jonathan Galia, who's checking in on board my call sign 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Jonathan is currently, I've been told, working on his obtaining his license. So he'll, well, in a couple of months, he'll have his, we'll be hearing him calling on a new call sign. Okay, so seeing that we have no more check-ins for now, let's start the next. I'll pass on the mic to Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha. Ian, I know you told us a couple of nets back about this new call sign, about the Quebec, which was suddenly inserted between the Golf and the 0. But perhaps you could tell us some more about it, because I literally forgot why or how you have that call sign. Is that a temporary call sign? Is it a special event call sign? What sort of call sign is it? Is it so over to you, Ian. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Yeah, 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Good evening, Anthony. You're doing a grand job there. Difficult job when you've not a lot on. Good evening to your trainee, whose name I missed for a moment there. Good evening to 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima Chris. Happy birthday, of course, to be conveyed to Charles. 9 Hotel 1 FBS, which is very appropriate, really, because his age is 70. And now the explanation of the call sign. I'm sure you're all familiar of a grand lady, or should we say Elizabeth the Great, or what she was. Elizabeth II passed away, as you know, last week on Thursday. And the Quebec call sign, the prefix after the area of the UK, so it could have been Mike Quebec, or it could have been Golf Whiskey Quebec, but in my case, being in England, it's Golf Quebec 0 Bravo India Alpha. The Q was issued by the Radio Society of Great Britain through Ofcom in the UK for the Platinum Jubilee, and we had it earlier on in the year for that occasion. And this week, the powers that be, or the people that get these call signs or notice of variation to your license, asked for the use of the Q again, and it is valid from yesterday until to the 19th, when our sovereign, our late sovereign, will be laid to rest. So I'm privileged to use it tonight, once only, I reckon, on DMR. I tried to change the call sign sorry, not on DMR, on Echolink by putting the Q in, but I think it was causing more problems than it was worth. So, well, I'll voice it anyway. So that's the reason for it. And as I say, she reigned for 70 years. And of course, our friend there, Charles, is 70 today. And the Q is to commemorate the passing of the Queen, and it was the Platinum Jubilee. It's a bit of a mouthful, particularly if you've got a longer call sign in the UK. While I'm on about call signs, I'd just like somebody to explain to me why I saw a 9 Hotel 2 and 2 letters, I can't remember the letters now, earlier on today on Echolink on the 9H-HAM. 9H-1 UHF repeater. I didn't know there was a 2. I knew there was 9 Hotel 5. I knew there was 9 Hotel 1. And I know there's 9 Hotel 3 because I've held it or hold it myself. So what was the 9 Hotel 2? And it sounds as though I'm timing out. So here she goes. Over to you.
Golf Quebec 0 Bravo on the Alpha. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Yes, there is a 9 Hotel 2, and at the moment, while we speak, looking up the most recent legislation, because there are some additional, some replaced call signs which are being assigned, started being assigned since this year. I'm going to pass the mic to November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, Jerry, but while he's talking, I'm going to look up the relevant legislation, where there are details of these new call signs, and I'll just read off what the new call signs are. So people who had their old call signs will retain them, but new call signs since this year have changed. The 9H-HAM is one of the recent ones. I'll pass the mic on to Jerry, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha Net Control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Okay, very good, Anthony. I'll try not to hang up the repeater this time. Yeah, I looked down and it's like, oh, I'm still transmitting. Oops. So much for perfection, you know. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone. It's nice to hear everybody on. I hope that at least in your area of the world, it's cooling off. It's starting to cool off here, and the trees' leaves are starting to change color. And there was excellent coverage of the passing of the Queen on Sky News, and I've been spending quite a bit of time following that. And it's nice that we're so connected these days that everything is accessible live and not afterwards on the news. It's just impressive. You know, you speak about the Queen. I was telling Anthony before the net, she's the only monarch I know. I'm 69 years old, and she was crowned 3 or 4 months before I was born, and so that's something else. And I would have to guess that 95% of the population of the world only knows the Queen as monarch, and that's impressive in itself. The weather today, nice. It's going to be 20 Celsius today. Oh, and luckily we had some smoke from fires coming from the west coast, and the wind direction has changed. It's even rained a bit, so the tomato plants are extremely happy, and so am I. And so life is pretty good. I have no complaints. We've had a decent summer, and it was even better because the smoke from the fires didn't show up this way, and I happen to be affected by smoke when it's present. So I can't complain at all this summer. It's nice to hear everybody, and I'll pass it over back to you. I think that's all I have right now, but I'm sure I'll find something else, and make sure that I press the right button. 9H5FA with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, this is Net. Thank you for your contribution. I'd like to before passing on to Chris, I'd like to answer Ian's query about the 9 Hotel 2 call sign. Well, I made a mistake in the dates. So I'm looking up the legislation that's in front of me at the moment. So since the 1st June 2019, so it's 2019 of this year, I was off by quite a bit. Since the 1st June 2019, new call signs for permanent licenses are only distinguishable between Malta and Gozo. So 9H2 prefix is for licenses granted from the 1st June 2019 onwards to any qualified person having a registered address in Malta. Anyone having a registered address in Gozo will have a permanent call sign of 9H-7. The prefix will be 9H-7. So there is no more distinguishing between who has and who does not have a Morse code license. Now the call signs will only distinguish between who has a registered address in Malta and who has a registered address in Gozo. However, those existing call signs will be all retained. So I will remain a 9H5, for example. And then there is a special call sign, which is 9H6, which is a temporary call sign for special events, for radio contests, experimental stations, and special events. That's a 9H6, irrespective of where they are based, whether Malta or Gozo. It's 9H6. Then there are the temporary licenses of 3 months for foreign licensees who visit Malta. Those are 9H3s. So the major changes are that since 1st June 2019, all new call signs will be 9H2 for persons registered in Malta, 9H7 for persons registered in Gozo. Okay, so Ian, the 9H2 person, the 9H2 station, which you heard or spoke to, must have had his license granted on or after the 1st June 2019. I'll go over to Chris now and pass on the mic to him, 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, and then we can sort of go on discussing perhaps the call signs issue or some other news about current events. So on to Chris, 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
H1 Japan Lima.
Okay, acknowledge. I have new check-in 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima. Okay, Joe, will be coming to you shortly. Mike to 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
5FA, this is 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. Thanks for being net controller this evening. I'd like to thank N780W for picking my choice of song in the Tal Witness program. And I'd like to send my good luck to Jonathan Galia for getting his license soon. I make it a point to try something new every time and get out of my comfort zone, so I am using a single earpiece headphone right now with a push-to-talk on the same wire of the headset to make it easier for portable work from my car. The audio I'm receiving isn't very good, but I'm trying to get used to it, so I'm sorry if I missed any info. As my schedule gets busier, I find I only have time for this radio hobby while driving at work, to work and back, and during the quiet hours at work late at night. So this 9H GlobalNet is good because it gives me a slot in my calendar where I can dedicate all my attention to the radio. And today I have an opportunity to ask you guys for an honest signal report for this microphone. If that's okay, thanks. The reports so far have been inconsistent when I'm mobile for the obvious reason, going through between buildings. But I currently am at home, so I'd like to have a good idea of what my microphone is doing. So over to net control, 9H5FA, so 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris.
9 Hotel Tango Lima, Chris. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. You're coming in loud and clear. If we were on HF, I would say you're coming in 5 and 9. But you're coming in loud and clear, yeah. So your mic is fine. I don't know about your earphone, your headset. It might be a matter of I don't know, perhaps volume settings, or I'm not sure about that. But at least your mic is working fine. So I couldn't distinguish anything different from when you usually talk using the built-in mic of your handset, of your hand transceiver. So before going on to Joe, 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima, I'm going to pass on the mic to Jonathan Gaia, who's currently working to get his license and will be participating in the net on board my call sign. So, Jonathan, mic to you. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
9 Foxtrot Alpha, this is Jonathan Gaia. Leaving from the lobby. Thank you for the encouragement and as well. So, thank you for your help. I'm studying. I have an old book I'm studying. And hopefully next up for the course. Besides that, as the day usual business planning.
Jonathan, thank you very much. There's a lot of background noise, which is of a higher amplitude than than your voice. I mean, we could get, at least I could get about 50 or 60% of this QSO, but I think it's a matter of your antenna, or perhaps where you position it, I'm not sure, or perhaps your antenna is next to some electronic interference producing gizmo, but there was a lot of background noise. I'm not sure if you want to have another go with perhaps the positioning of your antenna, I don't know, or we could understand. Okay, I'm seeing you on this. You have a you have a mobile portable antenna. You were understandable, so but barely so. Okay, you want to have another go? Okay, you can sort of give me a sign on Jitsi. No. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to pass on the mic to 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima, Joe. Welcome to the 9 Hotel, the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, Joe. Glad to have you on board. And please tell us what's going on at your end of the radio spectrum. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Okay, 9H-5 Foxtrot Alpha with the group. 9H-1 Japan Lima. You know me, you can't stay very long. Unfortunately, the time for the net is not very appropriate for me, but we was doing some stuff here. So the meter go up and put up the volume and found you guys over here. I did get the notification that the net is going to be on. So I always put a maybe, because I'm not sure if I can come on or not. Okay, welcome to the new guys over there. Chris, I've talked to you several times also now. Doing quite well. Your modulation is very, very clear with that microphone you were using. I believe that was what you were looking for, and it's very, very clear indeed. So keep using that microphone. And Jonathan, I believe you should increase your power a little bit more. If you can increase your power from your apparatus, increase it a little bit more, and you will get into the repeater much better. I don't know where your location is. The repeater is up in Tarfa. So if you go through RF, you have to reach in Tarfa with a good clear signal, so you can have a good output from the repeater. Okay, guys, very good. I'm an old timer now, unfortunately, but that's what happens when time flies. Hi, Jerry there. Nice to hear you there, my friend. I believe you were on UHF, the RU repeater earlier on this week. couldn't come back to you, unfortunately. So I'll let you go on with the other leads over there. Right, quick run up. Well, actually, I was very busy with my son's wedding, which was now 3rd September. Time's flying past, and now we move on to the next event, which, of course, I'm announcing now also. Starting off preparations for this year's Jamboree. Anthony there for you, for your information, and also for the new members in ham radio. If they want to see ham operation in progress. I've been doing the Jamboree for the Monster Scouts since 1998 now, so we missed a couple of years due to a couple of different reasons, but been doing it every year. So our intention to do it again this year. Yesterday we had last year we had a good Jamboree after starting off after the COVID, and the children had a good time. So if you guys want to help out, you're most welcome. I'll be putting up a couple of posts, or you can contact me personally via messenger if you wish. You want to help out with the setup for the station. The event will be happening on the 14th, from the 14th to the 16th. They will be setting up the station maybe a day before. Most probably it will be in Rabat or in Mostafort. Not Mostafort, Tarja Battery. Those are two very, very good locations. And any help would be greatly appreciated. Either operation-wise or setting up the station, antenna stuff and all that. So you're most welcome to join us and help out. Okay. It came up and I took the time to let you know, guys, about it. Anybody else listening in and they're interested in ham radio can also visit us just the same. Over to Net Control. I think it's Anthony today, and you can pass it over to Jerry so I can have another over from him, and most probably I have to run off. So sorry about that, guys. 9H5 Foxtrot Alpha, 9H1 Jump Lima with the group.
9H1 Jump Lima with the 9H5 Foxtrot Alpha. This is with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9H5 Foxtrot Alpha. Okay, so Joe, this is my second time having a go at being net control, right? So you have to forgive some of my mistakes. Joe, is there a website or a Facebook page dedicated to the Jamboree on the Air, which we can announce, or perhaps, or will the information be on the 9H-HAM radio Facebook page, or is there something dedicated? Back to you, Joe. Perhaps you can tell us where to find details. 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
I was going downstairs to put up a notice on 9H group, so that's where we're going to put the notice first on the 9H group. So I'll let everybody know that it's going to happen again, and dates, put up the logo there for this year, and then we'll move on from there, because things take a little bit of time to set up also, mind you. So but ball has started rolling now, so from today, and the proper information later on. Up to now, all the thing is there's going to be done, but not the location. It's not set up yet. That's the only thing about it. 9H5 Fox Alpha, 9H1 Japan Lima.
9H1 Japan Lima. This is 9H5 Fox Alpha. Okay, thank you very much, Joe. I'll make sure to repeat this notice during the next 9H-HAM GlobalNet, which is on the 29th of September, and also on the following one, which will be on the 13th of October, which is one day before the Jota. So I'll make sure to repeat this information and to provide people with the relevant Facebook page where they can find the details and obviously offer to help. Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm going to pass the mic on back to Jerry because I believe he has something to say. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Net control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
Okay, very good. Anthony, 9H5FA and the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Well, if I did have something to say, I forgot it. So, but I'd like to say hello to Joe. It's nice to hear you, Joe. I'm starting to get up on the 9H1UHF-R repeater in the mornings because I found out this week that the MTARFA Club monitors the repeater in the mornings on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And so I think it was Tuesday or Thursday. Well, it couldn't have been Thursday. It had to be Tuesday. So on Tuesday, there were a few hams that were enjoying a cup of coffee at the club in the morning, and we chit-chatted on this repeater, 9H1UHF-R, and we enjoyed chatting, and they were talking about antennas and the rest over a good cup of coffee, which I think was great. And like I told them, all I needed was a half a dozen pastizzi, and I'd be a happy guy. So it's nice that people are monitoring the repeater and there's traffic on the machine, especially for somebody like me who lives thousands of miles away. But Echolink has been pretty good, and so has DMR. And I've kept in contact with quite a few people that I've known for years over both Echolink and DMR, which is great. And thank you very much all for telling us what's going on with the ham clubs. I think this is a nice forum for information like that. And again, it's nice to hear you, Joe, and I know that you monitor during the day, provided you're not busy, of course. And so one of these days, I'm sure we'll catch each other because I'm making it a point to get out on 9H1UHF-R during your day, which means my night, but that's okay. I'm retired, so nobody needs to wake me up at a certain point in time. That's about it. 9H5FA with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Number 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. I'm going to pause again for any late check-ins. Are there any new check-ins? If there are any radio amateurs who are currently connected to us and they wish to check in, please check in with your call sign in phonetic alphabet. And please also give us your name. I'm going to pause for late check-ins. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Net control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
This is WB4 PVT, Whiskey Bravo 4, Papa Victor Tango Charlie.
For checking in, Whiskey Bravo 4, Papa Victor Tango, Charlie. Mike, to you. Thanks for participating in this evening's 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Mike, to you, and perhaps you could give us some updates on what's happening in your part of the world. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9H 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
This is W4PVT. Not a whole lot going on. I'm still in school, taking geology at the local college. And yesterday I got my fifth, I can't believe it's the fifth COVID vaccine shot. So my arm is a little bit sore today, but it's better than getting COVID and really being sore. I did a presentation at one of the radio clubs the first of the month and got just about a standing ovation about Malta. It was about Tropo Radio, which is the reason I was there at Malta, up on Malta Ridge. And then I gave a talk about the radio club and amateur radio in Malta, and then ended with a number of photos that my daughter and I took while we were in Malta, and everybody was really pleased with that. I took some of them down at the beach. I was trying to show them how clear and nice the water is, but for some reason, every one that I took down at the beach to get a good picture of the water being clear, there was always some young lady in a bikini that got into the photograph. I don't know how that really happened, but anyway, so they were really happy with those photographs. Maybe that's why everybody applauded. And I've had people ask me if I had any other photographs of the water. The one thing that I'm a little bit curious about is the changing from the 9H1 to 9H2 call, I believe. Are they issuing any 9H1 calls now? And I forgot the other one that looks like they were stopping. And what is the reason for that? And will new hams in Malta be 9H2 now? Over.
WB4PVT, this is 9H5FA. No, there will be no new 9H1 or 9H5 call signs issued after the 1st June 2019. So 30th May 2019 was the last day that a 9H1 or 9H5 call sign could be issued. So previously, 9H1 call signs were issued to radio amateurs who were also licensed for Morse code, while 9H5, like my call sign, were issued to radio amateurs who are not licensed for Morse. Now that distinction has been forfeited, and the only distinction for local call signs is between radio amateurs who are have got a registered address in Malta, who are being issued with 9H2, and radio amateurs have registered in Gozo, who are being issued with a 9H7. Now, I'm not exactly sure for the rationale behind this. This was legislation which was issued this was legal notice 8 of 2020, so it's actually backdated because legal notice 8 of 2020, but it's actually referring to call signs which are issued from the 1st June 2019. Okay, so this at 2019, this legislation was probably in draft form, but it was actually officially published in 2020. Not sure about the rationale behind it. I probably haven't got to read through the whole legislation update, but scrolling through it at this moment, seems to be any clear reason why these call signs were changed. pausing because I'm sort of scrolling through this on my computer at the moment. No, there's a schedule of new call signs. Sorry, I really don't have an answer to that question. I'm sure that there are people who, especially members of the respective club committees who were involved in this, to provide advice on this change in legislation, or at least were involved in it or were consulted on it. But I don't have a straight and plain answer myself. Sorry for that. So now we have 9H1s, which are the old ones. We have 9H2s, which are the new ones. We have 9H3s, which are temporary 3-month licenses for foreigners. We have 9H4, which were the permanent GoZo licenses. So those are still there. We have 9H5, which were the permanent Malta registered licenses without Morse. We have 9H6, which is temporary special events call sign, and 9H7 for permanent licenses for stations for persons registered in GoZo. So we have all the span from 9H1 to 9H7. So I'm not sure what's going to happen if they change these again. Back to you, Charles, WB4PVT. Not sure if you have any comments on this, perhaps from your end. This is 9 Hotel 5 Fox Hotel 49 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
This is W4PVT. I saw the printout for the MCA and never could understand why they are doing it. I was just curious. On another note, I have still trying to get hold of anybody that can explain why Malta is not listed as a reciprocal agreement. If you came over here to use your call sign, I know it should be in there. I believe it's open to all EU countries. I think that is. I'm not sure. But if it is, then Malta should be one of them. I think it was just an oversight from somebody. But trying to get it taken care of is not having any luck with that. I believe, and Gary can correct me on this, but if you came to the United States, you could actually take a radio test and get a amateur license here in the United States with a U.S. call sign. One other thing that I'd like to point out, that's a little trivial information. I have a 4 call sign, and he has a 7. You see a 0 in there. That is not really 0. That is 10. There's 10 areas. And, of course, they didn't want 2 numbers in there, so they just dropped the 1. So the 0 is really the 10th call area. So that's about all I've got. I'm late because I was at a luncheon from class reunion. And for some reason, I did not get an email this time about the meeting, but I knew it was coming up. So I'll turn it back over to Net Control. This is WB4PVT, clear.
WB4PVT, this is 9H5FA. Apologies for the email. I sent them out 2 days ago. I sent out the calendar invite 2 days ago. I'll just check that I haven't by any error modified the list, and apologies if I somehow omitted you or deleted your name from the list or your email address. I'll double check that. Thanks for letting me know. I did this from the UK because I was in the UK. Flew back to Malta this morning. And to be honest, it was a bit fiddly when I did it because I didn't have all the details on my laptop. Sort of, they were sitting on a desktop here in Malta, but the desktop was switched on. So I connected to it. I connected to my desktop in Malta remotely using AnyDesk, actually, which is a remote control application. And I did everything sort of remotely on my local desktop. During a coffee break at a conference I was in the UK. So I might have messed something up, but I'm sure the list did go out because I put my own email address, including the list, sort of to make sure that I receive it as well. And I did receive it, but I might have messed something in the list. Sorry, apologies about that. I'll double check, because if I did mess something, that is going to be repeated in subsequent mail shots or calendar invites. Thanks for letting me know, Charles. Okay, is there anyone else who has anything else for the net? Please feel free to state your call sign and speak. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
All correct, 0G0 BIA. I'd like to sign out, Anthony, if I may. If you have a last over, thank you.
GQ0 BIA, Ian. Yes, of course. Thank you for joining us, and thanks. We really appreciate your participation and your contribution, and you really join regularly, and we always see you there. Yes, of course. Go ahead and do your work and whatever you have pending. I mean, this is we've been close to an hour, and I guess unless there are some other pending issues, we can actually start terminating. But thanks a lot, Ian, and go ahead. I really appreciate it. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. If there are any other people who wish to, any other stations who wish to contribute to this net, please go ahead. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Anthony, I would like to sign off also, but before I go, hi Charlie there, just listening over here now, to give some information regarding the upcoming Jamboree next month. So looking forward to maybe we can manage a contact there during the Jamboree there. It's going to be between the 14th and the 16th of October. Anyway, I can't stay very long. I should have signed off earlier, but Anthony, give another try to Jonathan. Let him have another go and see if he gets into the repeater better than before. Jonathan, if you're still listening, if you can increase the power and try with a little bit more power. Let's see how you go through the repeater. With your permission, Anthony, I'm going to see if Jonathan is still around. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Good night, all. Golf Quebec 0, Bravo India Alpha, off and clear.
Jonathan, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Jonathan has left Jitsi. I believe he isn't listening to us anymore. I know he was using a handheld, a 5-watt handheld transceiver with a rubber ducky. I'm not sure of his QTH or of his location, but he was showing me that his handheld, and I think that is the main issue why he couldn't get through. And I believe he was on the maximum power, which is about 4 or 5 watts. Jonathan, if you're still listening to us, would you like to come in and have another go? And 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima is happy to provide feedback. Jonathan, this is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha, this is Italian. Jonathan, you came in better than before. Let's see what Joe's hearing from his end. 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima, over to you. What's the feedback from your end on Jonathan's QSO just now?
Was short, but it was readable. That's the important thing, that it was readable. No, you get there, Jonathan, no problem. When you get the chance to put a little external antenna on top of the roof, and you get out better. Right, guys, have to go. Thanks for the opportunity there. Been nice joining you, and it's a little bit rare joining you, actually, but whenever I can, I'll try. But I have to go now. So, please, good night to all, and Ian is still listening there. Good evening to you and Georgina, and all the best to Charlie there, and also Chris, and you also Jerry. Back to net controller, and they're going to be out of the net now. 9H5 Fox Alpha and H1 Japan.
9H1 Japan Lima with 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for the update on the Jamboree on the air. And, well, congratulations for the organization which you undertake every single year to carry out this Jamboree, which has always been extremely successful. So, congratulations for this and for the incentive and will and power to keep it going. Thank you for this evening's participation in the net, and well, we'll hear you on the air soon, I hope. Does anyone else have anything for the net? Does anyone else have anything for the net? Please state your call sign and go ahead. 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima. This is Jonathan Valley.
9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima, 9H5FA. I heard the call sign, but I couldn't. You weren't readable after that. I'm not sure what you said after the call sign. Could you repeat, please? Go ahead. Okay, I believe that 9 Hotel 1 Japan Lima has signed off. Is there anyone who has anything else for the net? This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. If there is anyone who has anything else for the net, please go ahead.
This is W4PVT. I just want to let you know I did get the email. It just came in late. It's W4PVT clear.
W4PVT. This is 9H5FA. Okay, thanks for that. And it's the most working. Okay, thanks. For a minute, I thought I messed up something since I was sort of doing this remotely over a fairly slow connection. And okay, thanks a lot. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate that. Does anyone have anything else for the net? This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. Net control for the 38th edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Today is the 38th edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. If anyone has anything for the net, please state your call sign and go ahead.
Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. This is Jonathan Valley.
Go ahead, Jonathan. Go ahead. You're very readable now, much better than before. Go ahead.
Hotel 5 Fox Alpha. The only difference I did is I moved out from my ship to the room next door, basically. I'm happy I had it positive results. Yes, sorry about this, but the tablet switched off. I don't know why. Basically, it just went off. And unfortunately, since I don't have a content now, I don't have a better solution.
Jonathan, no problem whatsoever. Okay, Jonathan, thanks for your QSO. Retain your location. Wherever you move to, retain your location because you're coming in much clearer. And we have someone else on Jitsi, and not sure if he's hearing us on radio. Fox, are you hearing us? Do you have a radio or just seeing us? This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. I'm 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox. He's on Jitsi, but I believe he's at some events, and he's occupied at the moment, so he can't actually talk to us. But he's on Jitsi, and I'm going to check him into the 38th edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Okay, so if there isn't any other, if there isn't anything else for today's net, I'm going to summarize. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 check-ins, if I'm counting correctly, 9 if I'm including myself, which is very good actually. So apologies if I didn't follow protocol. This is the second time I'm trying to call a net, so trying to get some practice for myself. So thanks for bearing with me. And I'm going to close the net. And before we actually leave, I'd like to thank the trustees of the 2 repeaters, the 9H1 UHFR and the DMR, and who allow us to use these repeaters on a regular basis for this net. And I'd like to remind everyone that this net meets every 2 weeks on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central European Time. Every 2 weeks on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central European Time. So the next net will be scheduled for the 29th of September. Thursday the 29th of September at 8 p.m. Central European Time. I will now return all repeaters back to their regular use. Today's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet to a close. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha net control for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, signing off and 73s to all.